All right, yo. I hope y'all like that introduction. Cause more power would say, yo. We always a deliver power. We never stop the power thing. Cause power is ours. You see it. Big up everybody. Love, understanding, respect, honor. You get me? All right, we're gonna go to chapter 1. Yeah, that was the introduction. This is chapter 1. Gonna beat it real quick because we beat this quick. We're intellectual, so it won't take me no time at all. Just pay attention. Yeah, and this chapter is called the domestication and the dream of the planet. Listen what I'm saying. The domestication and the dream of the planet. All right, we're going it now. Zoop, yo, bedtime stories. What you are seeing and hearing right now is nothing but a dream. You are dreaming right now in this moment. You are dreaming with the brain awake. Dreaming is the main function of the mind, and the mind dreams 24 hours a day. If dreams when the brain is awake, it dreams when the brain is awake, and also dreams when the brain is asleep. The difference is that when the brain is awake, there's a material frame that makes us perceive things in a linear way. When we go to sleep, we do not have that same time frame. And that dream has the tendency to change constantly in our sleep. Humans are dreaming all the time. Before we were born, the humans before us created big outside dream that we all call society. Dream or the dream of the planet. The dream of the planet is a collective dream of billions of smaller personal dreams which together create dream of a family, a dream of a community, dream of a city, a dream of a country, and finally of the whole humanity on the planet. The dream of the planet includes all of society's rules, its beliefs, its laws, its religions, its different cultures, and the ways to be. It's government, schools, social events, it's holidays. We are born with the capacity to learn how to dream. And the humans who lived before us, you see it, our forefathers, parents, history, whatever. Listen, teach us how to dream the way society dreams. The outside dream has so many rules that when a new human is born, we hook the child's attention and introduce the rules into his or her mind. We start implant the dreams into the youth head. The outside dream uses mom, dad, schools, religions to teach us how to dream. Attention is the ability we have to discriminate and focus only on that which we want to perceive. We can perceive millions of things simultaneously, but using our attention, we can hold whatever we want to perceive in the foreground of our mind. The adults around us hooked our attention and put information into our mind through repetition. Over and over again, they planted the seed. That is the way we learn everything. That is what we know. By using our attention, we learn the whole reality, a whole dream. We learn how to behave in society, what to believe and what not to believe, what is acceptable and what is not acceptable, what is good and what is bad, what is beautiful and what is ugly, what is right and what is wrong. It was all there ready, all planted by our forefathers and parents. All of the knowledge, all the rules and concepts about how we behave in this world was planted, and they was not planted by thyself. When we was in school, we sat in a little chair and put our attention on what the teacher was teaching. Yeah? When you went to church, you put your attention on what the priest or the minister was telling you. It was the same dynamic with mom and dad, brothers and sisters. They were all trying to hook your attention to what was already planted. Yeah? We also learn to hook the attention to other humans, and we develop a need for attention, which can become very competitive. Yeah? Children compete for attention of their parents, their teachers, their friends. Look at me, look at me, look what I'm doing. Hey, I'm here. The need for attention becomes very strong and continues into adulthood. To a big people, the seeking attention thing, because we don't fit the persona of what has been planted, of the dream. These algorithms, social network, our parents, 30 years working as a plumber. You can't do nothing, but you're looking good for your parents because you're the ideal child. You get me? Hold on. Yeah? The outside dream hooks our attention and teaches us what to believe, beginning with language, what we speak. Language is the code for understanding and communication between humans. Every letter, every word in each language is an agreement. We can call this page in this book the word. Page is an agreement. And it's an understanding. Once we understand the code, our attention is hooked and energy is transferred from one person to another. So watch what you're transferring, The information and what you're getting from others, it spreads like wildfire, like by threes. So when you're spreading it to one, it doesn't spread in a one word. It manifests and break off into 3 branches into their head. Yeah, and you're transferring information that's no good for people, no good for society, no good for this world. Let me get back to the book. It was not your choice to speak English. You didn't choose your religion or your moral values. They were already there before you were born. We never had the opportunity to choose what to believe or what not to believe. We never chose even the smallest of agreements. We didn't even choose our own name. As children, we didn't have the opportunity to choose our beliefs. But we agreed with the information that was passed to us from the dream of the planet via other humans. The only way to store information is by an agreement. The outside dream may hook our attention, but if we don't agree, we don't store the information. As soon as we agree, we believe it. And that is called faith. To have faith is to believe unconditionally. But what is a belief? This is how we learn as children. Children believe everything adults say. We agree with them. And our faith is so strong that the belief system controls our whole dream of life. We didn't choose these beliefs, and we may have rebelled against them, but we were not strong enough to win the rebellion. The result is surrender to the beliefs with our agreement. Call this the process, the domestication of humans. And through the domestication, we learn how to live and how to dream. In human domestication, the information from outside dream is conveyed to the inside dream, creating our whole belief system. From the child is taught the names of things: mom, dad, milk, bottle, day by day, at home, school, at church. From television, we are told how to live, what kind of behavior is acceptable. The outside dream teaches us how to be human. They're human. We have a whole concept of what a woman is and what a man is. We have our next party now we're joining at this thing. Because them just pushing the belief. Hold on. And we also learn to judge. We judge ourselves, other people, judge our neighbors. Children are domesticated the same way that we domesticate our dog, cat, any other animal. Is order to teach a dog. We punish that dog and we give it rewards. We train our children whom we love so much the same way. We train any domesticated animal with a system of punishment and rewards. We are told you're a good boy or you're a good girl, and we do what mom and dad wants us to do. Yo, and that might do to my youth them right now. But generally, because I just want them to have a little bit of discipline, but I want them to be free beings. I swear, man, I'm going to let them do anything they want. All my kids, when they come around me, yo, feel free, man, investigate the world. But let's move on. When we don't want, we are a bad girl or a bad boy. When we went against the rules, we were punished. When we went along with the rules, we got a reward. We were punished many times a day, and we were also rewarded many times a day. Since we became afraid of being punished and also afraid of not receiving the reward is the attention that we got from our parents or from other people like siblings, teachers, friends. We soon develop a need to hook to other people's attention in order to get a reward. Do anything to try to get a blood clot like and to do anything to get a hello from a beg where I beg it out now. Yeah, that's what your brain is adapting, begging out the thing to become adaptable and comfortable in other people's persona because you're frightened not to fit in other people's persona. Let's keep it moving. The real rewards feels good and we keep doing what others want us to do in order to get the reward. With that fear of being punished and that fear of not getting the reward, we start pretending to be what we are not. Just to please others, just to be good enough for someone else. We try to please mom, dad, you get me, husband, wife. We try to please the teacher, school. We try to please the church. We try to, and we start acting, We pretend to be what we are not because we are afraid of being rejected. The fear of being rejected becomes the fear of not being good enough. Eventually become someone that we are not. We become a copy of mama's beliefs, daddy's beliefs, society's beliefs, religion's beliefs. All our normal tendencies are lost in the process of domestication. And when we are old enough for our mind to understand, we learn the word no. The adults say, don't do this and don't do that. We rebel and say no. We rebel because we are defending our freedom. We want to be ourselves, but we are very little, and adults are being strong. After a certain time, we're afraid because we know that every time we do something wrong, we're going to be punished. The domestication is so strong that at a certain point in our life, we no longer need anyone to domesticate us. We don't need mom and dad, the school of the church, or anything to domesticate us. We are so well trained that we are our own domesticator. We are an auto-domesticated animal. Auto-domesticated animal we are. We can now domesticate ourselves accordingly to the same belief system we were given and using the same system of punishment and reward. We punish ourselves when we don't follow the rules according to our belief system. We reward ourselves and we are the good boy or the good girl. The belief system is like a book of law that rules our mind without question. Whatever is in the book of law is our truth. We base all of our judgments according to the book of law, even if these judgments go against our own inner nature. Even moral laws like the 10 Commandments are programmed into our mind, the Bible, in the process of domestication. One by one, all of these agreements go into the book of law, and these agreements rule out our dreams, our personal goals, our personal desires, our personal admirations. Yeah, it's different between discipline and control. Yeah? There is something in our minds that judges everybody and everything, including the weather, the dog, the cat, everything. The inner judge uses what is our book of law to judge everything we do and don't do, everything we think and don't think, everything we feel and don't think. Everything lives under the tyranny of this judge. Every time we do something that goes against the book of law, the judge says we are guilty. We need to be punished. We should be ashamed. This happens many times a day after day, for all the years of our bumble-claw lives. Every second we are judged ourselves. Hear what the thing said. Every time we do something that goes against these book of laws, the judge says we are guilty. We need to be punished. We should be ashamed. This happens many times a day after day, for all our years of our life. There's another part of us that receives the judgments, and this part is called the victim. The victim carries the blame, the guilt, and the shame. It's part of us that says, poor me, I'm not good enough, I'm not intelligent enough, I'm not attractive enough, I'm not worthy of love. Poor me. The big judge agrees and says, yes, you are not good enough. And this is all based on belief systems that we never chose to believe. These beliefs are so strong that even years later, when we are exposed to new concepts and try to make our own decisions, we find that these beliefs still control us. Those belief systems from our fathers, the church, the mother, the father, the youth, it still control our sense of making a blood clot judgment. So we never get further than the front doorstep because them say you can't go further than that. Yo, let me keep this going, guys. Whatever goes against the book of laws will make you feel a funny sensation in your solar plexus. The solar plexus down there in your gut, right between your under your pelvis and your hip bone and your butt and your stomach. When you have to take air, you should breathe to your solar plexus because your solar plexus is supposed to be your third eye. The one that gives you the butterflies when you go on stage. They say it's the brain. You get me? It captures the oxygen. All asthma kids, when you have an asthma attack, you try to take that wind and you go blow in the lungs and try to breathe to your solar plexus and try to get a clear state of mind. Oh, we'll keep it moving. I'm sorry. Make you feel a funny sensation in your solar plexuses. And it's called fear. Breaking the rules in the book of law opens your emotional wounds and your reaction to create emotional poison. Because everything that is in the book of law has to be true. Anything that challenges what you believe is going to make you feel unsafe. Even in the book of law, if it's wrong, it's going to make you feel safe. Because you already got this book that you read of laws that you've got from a long time ago. So even if it's wrong what you're doing because you're following other people's instructions, you're going to feel safe within that zone because that is the study and that is the tactics of what we share with each other. That we sum up something in our mind, like let's not go down a dark alley because we might get hurt. And we don't go down there because you might get hurt, and we plant that in everyone's mind that those dark alleys are not good. It doesn't mean that when you go down that dark alley, something's going to happen to you. It's just somebody else's experience. And when they pass it on, they pick up these beliefs, and even if it's wrong, it's like your mom told you, yo, don't have an umbrella in the house. This superstitious thing. Don't put your hat on the bed. Throw the salt over your teeth. 7 years, bad luck when you break. That's all that bullshit they made up, and they're trying to give you. You understand? The other things that they passed on, these are just basic things. I'm trying to, religion, Jesus is black. Jesus is irrelevant to us right now. You ever find a Jesus in yourself? You understand? It's good to know history and have knowledge, and if you can take the moral out of it, take it out. But don't eat the fucking seed. You understand? They told us the water was good. Your mom said, yo, drink the water. Didn't know that they had all kind of shit in this water that's coming out of the tap. You get me? Brush our teeth with toothpaste, fluoride. You know what I'm saying? And all kind of diets, all the Jesus, the religion, the government, the politics, those beliefs. We're Labour, our whole family. Let's support fucking Barcelona or Liverpool. We come from London. Yo, auntie live that, we can't move. These are beliefs that have been planted in you that can be changed, but you just don't have to get over the personal judgment that you think you're going to take for not making this decision. I'm sorry for talking in between the books long. Let me go. That is why we need a great deal of courage to challenge our own beliefs, because even if we know we didn't choose all our beliefs, it's also true that we agreed to all of them. The agreement is so strong that even we understand the concept of it not being true. But we feel the blame, the guilt, and the shame that occur if we go against these rules. Just as the government has a book of laws that rule the society's dream, our belief system is the book of laws that rule our personal dream. All these laws exist in our mind. We believe them, and the judge inside us bases everything on these rules. The judge decrees, and the victim suffers the guilt and the punishment. But who says there is justice in this dream? True justice is paying only once for each mistake. True justice is paying more than once for each mistake. How many times do we pay for our mistake? The answer is 1,000 times. The human is the only animal on earth that pays 1,000 times for the same mistake. The rest of the animals pay once for every mistake they make, but not us. We have a powerful memory. We make a mistake, we judge ourselves. We find ourselves guilty, and we punish ourselves. If justice exists, then that was enough. We don't need to do it again. But every time we remember, we judge ourselves again. We are guilty again, and we punish ourselves again and again and again. If we have a wife or a husband, he or she also reminds us of our mistake. So we can judge ourselves again, punish ourselves again, find ourselves guilty again. Is this fair? How many times do we make our spouse, our children, or our parents pay for the same mistake? Every time we remember the mistake, we blame them again and send them all emotional poison. We feel at the injustice and then we make them pay again for the same mistake. Is that justice? The judge is in the mind, is wrong because the belief system, the book of law is wrong. The whole dream is based on a false bumbleclad law. 95% of the beliefs we have stored in our mind are nothing but lies, and we suffer because we believe all in these lies. In the dream of the planet, it is not normal for humans to suffer or to live in fear and to create emotional dramas. The outside dream is not a pleasant dream. It is a dream of violence, a dream of fear, a dream of war, a dream of injustice. The personal dream of humans will vary, but globally it is mostly a nightmare. If we look at human society, see a place so difficult to live, it is because it is ruled by fear. Throughout the world, we see human suffering, anger, revenge, addiction, violence in the street, and tremendous injustice. It may exist in different levels in different countries around the world, but fear is controlling the outside dream. If we compare the dream of human society with the description of hell that religions all around the world have promulgated, we find that we are exactly the same. Religions say hell is a place of punishment, a place of fear, pain, place of suffering, a place where the fire burns you inside. A fire is generated by emotions that come from fear. Whenever we feel the emotions of anger, jealousy, envy, or hate, we experience a fire burning within us while living in a dream of hell. If we consider hell a state of mind, then hell is around us. Others may warn us that if we don't do what they say we should do, we will go to hell. Bad news. Yeah, we're ready in hell, including the people who tell us that no human can condemn another human to hell because we are already there. Others can put us into the deeper hell. True, but only if we allow this to happen. Every human has his or her personal dream, and just like society's dream is often ruled by fear, we learn to dream hell in our own life, in our own personal dream. The same fear manifests in different ways for each person, of course, but we experience anger, jealousy, hate, envy, and other negative emotions. Our personal dream can also become an ongoing nightmare where we suffer and live in a state of fear. But we don't need to dream at night, a nightmare. It is possible to enjoy a pleasant dream. All of humanity is searching for truth, justice, and beauty. But we are on an internal search for truth because we only believe in the lies we have stored in our mind. We are searching for justice because in the belief system we have, there is no justice. We search for beauty because it doesn't matter how beautiful a person is. We don't believe that a person has beauty. We keep searching and searching when everything is already within us. There is no truth to find. Wherever we turn our heads, we all see is the truth. What we see is the truth. But with the agreement and the beliefs we have stored in our mind from the past, we have no eyes for the truth. We don't see the truth because we are blind to the truth. What blinds us are all those false beliefs we have in our mind. We have the need to be right and to make others wrong. We trust what we believe, and our beliefs are set us up for suffering. It is as if we live in the middle of a fog that doesn't let us see any further than our own Rossclaw knows. We live in the fog. It's not even the real. The fog is a dream. Remember the man in the smoke. Your personal dream of life what you believe, all the concepts you have about you are all the agreements you have made with others, with yourself, even with God. Your whole mind is a fog, which the Toltecs call method, pronounced metote. Your mind is a dream where 1,000 people talk at the same fucking time and nobody understands each other. This is the condition of the human mind. A big method. Big fog. And with that method, you cannot see what you really are. In India, they call the method Maya, which means illusions. It is the personality's notion of I am. Everything you believe about yourself and the world, all the concepts and the programming you have in your mind are the method. We cannot see who we truly are. We cannot see what we are not free of. It's the method, the fog, other people's thoughts. This is why humans resist life. To be alive is the biggest fear humans have. Death is not the biggest fear we have. Our biggest fear is taking the risk to be alive. The risk to be alive, express what we really are. Just being ourselves is the biggest fear of humans. We have learned to live our life trying to satisfy other people's demands. We have learned to live by other people's points of view because of the fear of not being accepted or not being good enough for someone else. During the process of domestication, we form an image of what perfection is. In order to try to be good enough, we create an image of how we should be in order to be accepted for everybody else. We especially try to please the ones who we love, like mom and dad, big brothers and sisters, the priest, and the fucking teacher. Trying to be good enough for them, we create the image of perfection, but we don't fit this image. We create this image, but this image is not real. We are never going to be perfect from this point of view. Never. For other people's rules, you can't be perfect. Now, being perfect, we reject ourselves, and the level of self-rejection depends upon how affected the adults were in breaking our integrity. After domestication, it is no longer about being good enough for anybody else. We are not good enough for ourselves because we don't fit within our own image of perfection. We cannot forgive ourselves for not being what we wish to be, or rather what we believe we should be. We cannot forgive ourselves for not being perfect. We know we are what we believe we are supposed to be and what we feel forced, frustrated, and dishonest. We try to hide ourselves and we try to pretend to be what we are not. The result is that we feel unethnic, and we're social masks to keep others from noticing this. We are so afraid that somebody else will notice that we are not what we pretend to be. We judge ourselves according to our image or our perfection as well, and naturally they fall short of expectations. We dishonor ourselves just to please other people. We even do harm to our physical bodies just to be accepted by others. You see teenagers taking drugs just to avoid being rejected by other teenagers. They're not aware that the problem is that they don't accept themselves. They reject themselves because they are not what they pretend to be. They wish to be a certain way, but they are not. And for this, they carry shame and guilt. Humans punish themselves endlessly for not being what they believe they should be. They become very abusive, and they use other people to abuse themselves as well. But nobody abuses us more than we abuse ourselves. And it is the judge, the victim, and the belief system that make us do this. True, we find people who say their husband or wife or mother or father abused them, but you know that we abuse ourselves much more than that. The way we judge ourselves is the worst judge that ever existed. If we make a mistake in front of people, we try to deny the mistake and cover it up. But as soon as we are alone, the judge becomes so strong, the guilt is so strong, and we feel so stupid, so bad, so unworthy. Yeah? In your whole life, nobody has ever abused more than you have abused yourself, and the limit of your self-abuse is exactly the limit that you will tolerate from someone else. If someone abuses you a little more than you abuse yourself, you'll probably walk away from that person. But if someone abuses you a little less than you abuse yourself, you'll probably stay in a relationship and tolerate it endlessly. If you abuse yourself very badly, you can even tolerate someone who beats you up, humiliates you, and treats you like dirt. Why? Because in your belief system you say, I deserve it. The person is doing me a favor for being with me. I'm not worthy of love and respect. I'm not good enough. We have the need to be accepted and to be loved by others, and we cannot accept the love ourselves. The more self-love we have, the less we will experience self-abuse. Self-abuse comes from self-rejection, and self-rejection comes from having an image of what it means to be perfect and never measuring up that ideal. Our image of perfection is the reason we reject ourselves. It is why we don't accept ourselves the way we are, why we don't accept others the way we are. Prelude to the new dream. There are thousands of agreements you have made with yourself, with other people, with your dream of life, with God, with society, with your parents, with your spouse, with your children. But the most important agreements are the ones you made with yourself. In these agreements, you tell yourself who you are, what you feel, what you believe, and how to behave. The result is what you call your personality. In these agreements, you say, this is what I am. This is what I believe. I can do certain things, and some things I cannot do. This is reality. That is fantasy. This is possible. That is impossible. But one single agreement is not such a problem. But we have many agreements that make us suffer, that make us fail in life. If you want to live a life of joy and fulfillment, you have to find the courage to break these agreements that are fear-based and claim your personal power. The agreements that become from fear require us to expend a lot of energy, but agreements that come from love help us conserve energy and gain even extra energy, more fire. Love, we say. Each of us is born with a certain amount of personal power that we rebuild every day, and after we rest, unfortunately, we spend all of our personal powers first to create all these agreements and then keep these agreements. Our personal power is dissipated by all the agreements we have created, and the result is that we feel powerless. We have just enough power to survive each day, because most of it is used to keep the agreements that trap us in the dream of the planet. The other people's dream I'm telling you about, man. Energy gone. How we can change the entire dream of our life when we have no power to change even the smallest agreements, to break them rules. If we can see it, it is our agreements which rule out our life, and we don't like the dream of our life. We need to change the agreements. When we're finally ready to change our agreements, then we are four very powerful agreements. Then there are four very powerful agreements that will help us break those agreements that come from fear and deplete of energy. Each time you break the agreement, all the power you use to create, it returns to you. If you adopt these four new agreements, they will create enough personal power for you to change the entire system of your old agreements. You need a very strong will in order to adopt these four agreements. But if you can begin to live your life with these agreements, the transformation in your life will be amazing. You will see the drama of hell disappear right before your eyes. Instead of living a dream of hell, you'll be creating a new dream, your personal dream of your own bumbleclad heaven. So see the first chapter there. Yo, sometimes I have to eat up a knowledge and eat a food. Yeah, man love have fun and rare. Who don't watch it and listen before your bed. You don't want to listen to nothing, no man I read to you. Me go give you the blood clot thing straight up. Listen to me before you go to bed. Give me half an hour. Take in the first chapter. Zup! Energy. Well, make some agreement today, people. Big up yourself. Love is the answer. Love is the question.